Did your own workshop?
What workshop? Oh, the workshop was on how to create our own feed one, teach one, and how not how us, but to teach other people how to create their own. And on the facilitator part of that, it was kind of cool. I liked that. I liked as an MC, like a upright. I can't think of the word. MC. I should learn how to do that. To get people hype, control the room, control the flow of the conversation, this, that, and third. Should be able to do that, and that was a really good experience for myself. And I don't know. I like facilitating. It was fun.
Nice.
What about you, Mariah? How was it
Excellent
like
skill.
to be a facilitator?
It's an excellent skill you can take anywhere in life.
I liked it. To listen to all the other people from Riverwood taught me things about them and they self. But it was this one girl, like she was just like me. She liked the spotlight. And
Are you a Leo?
no, I'm Sagittarius.
Okay.
And I was trying to help her group, and she told me, she was like, I got this. I was like, okay, I can watch you. And it was just it was fun facilitating her group specifically, because she showed me that she can take over and facilitate instead of me.
Nice.
What relationship did you make? What relationship did you make?
That was the relationship that I made.
One.
There really wasn't a lot of, like I said before, a lot of chances, because we were only in the workshop for like 45 minutes, so we had to we had multiple parts that we had to do, and there wasn't a lot of time. Cause how long was lunch? I think it was
like 30 minutes.
Yeah, half hour. So we didn't really get to talk to other people because we sat with other YEA members. So that's about it on the relationship.
So speaks like PowerShift. I think as far as relationships being made, I think that was actually a part of the system. I'm speaking on this because they actually had a system where once you get your tag for being in there, they actually have your some kind of printer to print your email and then print copies of it so you can give it to people. So I think it was actually an intent to have build some relationships, at least in PowerShift. But before we move on to the next one, I wanted to hear Will C. Because I'm unaware and I'd like to know as well.
Yes, relationships made. One thing that comes to mind, the one thing that I'll say is Lottie and ReMedia have amped up my ability to organize with social media. There's a POC group, People of Color group, that came out of PowerShift. And this was the second time I went to PowerShift, and there was a lot more energy this second time. The first time a couple years ago, I just went and came back. But this time, right afterwards, a People of Color group was created on Facebook. So I'm in, I see, I don't know how many people are members, but it looks like 10, 20, 30 people, communicating, people posting. That's one way, in addition to some different business cards and things like that. I'm actually meeting with Ife tomorrow. I got some ideas. I want to kind of strategize about keeping in touch with people, on an organizational level, in addition to the individual things that have been mentioned. The two things that I'll mention, which are related, I've been talking in some individual conversations already, but I think that I would like to put it out there. I'm especially looking at these two right here at the end of the table, but also to YEA people. YEA and da-da-da-da-da, but I think that Detroit, just to think about how I think that Detroit could really impact, not only impact, but I think that there could be some gains. And I say this to say, one of the biggest things that I was just hip on was there were some hungry young students of color from around the country, and I did a couple of presentations, and I just said some things that different Detroit things that if you had heard them, they wouldn't be too special, but from a number of these students, many of whom go to majority white universities, many of these young students of color, their whole MO was always conflicting and some of them had worked at mainstream organizations. They're like, oh, these white organizations ain't doing this, and this white university ain't doing this, and for me, some of them had actually said I forgot how they put it, but like, almost like, nobody at my university talks like that, or no, you know, like that, like there's this, you know, I think that just from Detroit, that people say we have a certain way and we have a certain, you know, boom, 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 and I'm not the most militant, I'm not the most out there person, you know, that I see on a week-to-week basis, you know, I'm just, you know, but I think that there was something that was just so refreshing for these young students from around the color to see, from around the country to see, that they've never really seen somebody to, you know, just stand in their dignity, and somebody to talk about, what about building our own institutions? You know, like they always see people, I won't say shucking and jiving, but assimilating and, you know, various things. You know, and so I just said a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so I think that if we, you know, it wouldn't take, you know, we brought 6 people. If we brought, say, 10 or 12, you know what I'm saying, we could just rack up and just really, not rack up like make a whole bunch of money, but rack up like,
Make a whole bunch of money.
you know, a bunch of relationships, and really start dialoguing with this generation of young people of color around the country, because they really, I mean, they just reacted so well. And what I think that I was bringing was just emblematic of what I get from Detroit. I don't think it was, you know, I don't think it was just a will thing. I think it was just like, yo, I'm just speaking what we do. You know, if it was 4 people from Detroit, you would have had 4 times as much of it. You know. And the other thing about this Facebook group, one thing I'm noticing with, like I kind of said, these young students of color. Don't put this in the video. Pause this part.